Hello everyone, happy Sunday. It is July 5th, the day after 4th of July, which we had a fabulous celebration. I hope you all did too. I am live with you for Coffee and a Card. Hello and happy Sunday. Let me introduce myself. I am Tiffany Almeida. I am pretty in paper crafts and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I go live every Sunday for Coffee and a Card where I show you fun projects using Stampin' Up! Product. Today we are going to be using the Way to Goat stamp set. Totally up my alley. I love puns, I love cutesy, I love silly, and this one is all about it. So I'm gonna giggle, I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna have fun with it, and I hope you will too, and I hope you like today's projects. We're using the Way to Goat stamp set, and it is so cute. I love all the sentiments. Happy birthday, you old goat. You're the goat, greatest of all time. I got you a cake, but I ate it. And Way to Goat. All right, so the second little thing that I made was a money wallet. And this is a little money wallet with a surprise. So I did a little peekaboo. So it says, you're the goat. And I have all my cute little goats in here. And then my last goat, there's a little message that says, greatest of all time. So the cool thing about this is that I think this sentiment can be used for everything. It can be used for birthday, it can be used for Christmas, it can be used for, not Christmas, birthday, graduations, retirements, anything. But inside there's a little money wallet. So put some little dollar bills inside. So I think this is super cute. What a fun way to play with those goats, a little peekaboo. Peekaboo. And you can't fit all three in a card unless it's like a longer or a different shaped card. So I made a money wallet out of it. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to make this. The measurements for this card are on my project sheet. All my measurements are over on my project sheet in my blog post. So there's a link to my blog post in the description of this video. If you click on that and you go down to the bottom of the projects, there's in big bold words it says project sheet. And I think I might have even forgot to update the date on it, but it should be today's. And click on that and it will give you all of the measurements. It gives you all the product that I used and the item numbers and everything. And it also tells you about the current specials that I'm doing right now, classes, specials, things like that. So to start, we have a piece of Mango Melody. I always get those two mixed up. Mango Melody cardstock that is 10 1/4 by 6 3/8. And it's scored at 2 3/4, no. What's it scored at? Oh, 2 3/4, 3 1/8, 6 1/2, and 6 7/8. So you don't have to remember all those measurements because they're over there on my project sheet. But go ahead and do those score lines on this piece of Mango Melody. And then we're going to fold and burnish on these score lines. You also need two other pieces of Mango Melody that are 2 3/4 inches by 3 1/8 inch. So we have those two, and we are going to score them. So bring my score tool in here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So you're gonna put it up on the short side, and you're going to score at excuse me, 3/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/8, 1 1/2, and 1 7/8. So it's basically every 3/8 of an inch. Okay, same thing on this one. So 3/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/8, 1 1/2, and 1 7/8. Okay, so we have that. So the way that this money wallet's going to work is there's a long side and then there's a short side. So the short side is the front of the wallet. The long side is the inside part of the wallet. So it's just going to fold up like this. And we are going to use our detailed trio punch just to round the top corners of our envelope. Just the top, not the bottom. Okay. So we'll do those things here in a minute. We'll put it together. Then we need 2 sets of Whisper White and 2 sets of Designer Series paper. So the Whisper White, the first one is, I already forgot the measurements, 3 1/4 by 6 1/8. This one is 2 5/8 by 6 1/8. And then I have a piece of Designer Series paper. This one is 3 1/8 by 6. And this one is 2 1/2 by 6, okay? So this one, so we're not gonna get confused, the larger piece we can just glue down to our Whisper White cardstock and be done with it. So it's just gonna mat this. That was horrible. I was not centered at all. So we can set that aside. All right, for this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut 3 circles out. So we have our little goats here. We're gonna take the stitched shapes circle and we are going to cut this out. Now this stitch shaped circle is, I believe, 2 1/8. Nope, 1 7/8 inch circle. Okay, so you can use a 1 7/8 inch circle to cut all of these. That's about as big as you can go before you're gonna cut into each other. So 1 7/8 inch is the biggest you can go. You could go smaller, but not bigger. So what I did first was I found the middle of my cardstock or my Designer Series paper. So since this measures 6, 3 is going to be the middle for us. So I'm just gonna mark it at 3 because, and just lightly in pencil, because when I go to cut these circles, actually I wanna do it on the polka dot side. I'll tell you why here in a second. So I'm just gonna mark at 3. This is just to kind of give me an eyeball of where I need to line up my dies, okay? So I've got my 3 marks at 3. Now, you can see on the original that the other side of this Designer Series paper is on the outside. What I didn't realize is that when I cut the stitch circles, the back side of the stitch is on the polka dot side, which is where what I want showing. So to get my circle to have the stitches on the right side, I'm going to cut the back side of the Designer Series paper. And that'll make sense here in a second, but that is why I'm doing the back side. So we're going to get our big shot into view here. And we're going to cut this 3 times. So the first time I'm just going to line it up over the marks. Center it as best I can. Hopefully that's pretty decent. And we'll just cut that out. Okay. So now we have a stitch circle with the stitching on the polka dot side. Now we're going to put this on here again, center it between the side of the Designer Series paper and the circle. Just try to center it. I know it overlaps, but it won't cut. It'll be okay. Just run that through one more time. Hold on to your circles because we're going to need those. And then one more time on this side. Okay, so now we have our circles and our holes. Okay, so now you can see I can flip this over, use this side, but my stitching is going to be on the right side for my circles, so that'll make me happy. Okay, the next thing we gotta do is we gotta take our piece of Whisper White and we have to put our Designer Series paper over it. And this is going to be my guide for when I wanna stamp my goat. So I'm just going to mark lightly with pencil around my circles so I know where I'll go out of the lines. Okay, so now I've kind of got my general idea of where the 3 circles are. So let's go ahead and stamp and color, and then I'll show you how we're gonna make the little peekaboo. So we have our little sheep, not sheep, goats. Sorry, I need water. 3 goats. I'm gonna stamp them in Memento Black. Woo! Now, I'm going to change it up just a little bit because I think I want the first one to open up this way because I feel like this kind of interferes. So this one I'm going to open this way, then the middle one I'll open to the top, and then this one I'll open to the bottom. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So, oh, the other thing is you want to get a scrap of paper. I'm just going to use this piece here. You want to cover the bottom of your piece of Whisper White because you don't want the stamps to go down here where it will show. But you don't want to cover up your bottom of the circle either because you want the stamp to go all the way to the bottom, but you don't want it to go past the very bottom. Okay, so there's one goat. Two goats. And our third goat. Okay. So that's it for the goats. Let's go ahead and color these. GFG guide. What? Guide for goat. Jamie. So funny. Okay, so now we're going to color our goats, and I did 3 different colors of goats. I did a brown goat, a white goat, and a black goat. So for the white goat, again, we have to do some shading. We can't just leave it white. That would just be criminal. So again, just shade with that light smoky slate. Just give that little goat some color, even if it is gray. You just want to line it, just give it a little bit, give it an outline. Okay, for our gray goat, we're gonna do crumb cake. Gray goat, I mean brown goat. God, I can't even talk today. I'm just gonna give him an outline of color, or like a solid color of light crumb cake. I gotta use the fine point over here. I think I'm gonna leave his tufts of hair at the top and his little goatee. I think I'm gonna leave those white. So let's do some shading in the dark crumb cake. So under his ear, off to the right side. Maybe under his chin here. Okay, let's do his ear and under his hair. Maybe some of his horns will be brown. Okay, let's go ahead and blend that in. Just blend those edges. Just wanted to make it a little bit smoother. Just blend his face. Okay. And since we're leaving some of him white, I'm going to shade the white with smoky slate. Okay, and then for our last one, we are going to do a black goat. I don't know if goats are black. I would assume that some are. So I'm going to use the light basic black to color him. I'm going to do the fine tip around the areas that I need to be careful. The fine tip seems darker than the brush tip. And with these spiky little corners, we gotta be careful. Let's do his ears and his hair. Okay, and then I did his face and his horns in gray. So I'm gonna take dark smoky slate and just kind of color in his face. The black goat of the family. right? Just kind of color in, kind of fill in where the black. Okay, and then I'm gonna do gray horns. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 3 little goats. Now we have to erase our pencil marks. We don't want those to show. Okay. Black goat of the family. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like if my family were to describe me, they'd probably call me an old goat. I'm like the old soul. I'm the cranky one. Okay, so put glue on the back side and glue it down like so. Cute. Okay, so before we can put our little peekaboo things, we need to score them real quick. So when we're gonna score these, we're just gonna score right about 1/4 of an inch, not a lot, just the little edge of the circle needs to be scored. And it doesn't matter where, because circles, there's no like right or wrong side. It's all sides are created equal, because there is no side. So we're just gonna score those. Fold them out towards the polka dots. Okay. Put a little bit of liquid glue. And now we're going to decide, okay, how are they going to fold out? So I did mention that I was going to make one little change. I was going to make this first one fold out. So I'm going to line up my circle inside and I'll adjust it to where I want that fold to happen. So once I've got it where I want, I'll fold that down, let the glue dry for a second, and then it will fold out. This one we're going to do up and down. So let's go ahead and put glue on here. Line it up down here at the bottom. Put glue right there. I have a pencil mark here still, so I need to erase that. I thought it was just a dirty spot, but I had pencil marks. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one we're gonna fold down. So put glue on it. Line it up. Fold it down. Sweet. Look at that. So cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so before we actually put this all together, let's, well, no, let's go ahead. So the next step is magnets. Last time when I was showing this wallet on Pretty AF, I forgot the magnet step. I will not forget it this time. It made for an awkward wallet, that's to say the least. Okay. Oh, before I do the magnets, let's go back even further and let's put on our little accordion folds. So these inside pieces here, these 2 side pieces. So remember, we cut and scored these. So now we're going to just fold these down in a zigzag pattern. So in, out, make our little accordion fold. You can even take your bone folder and just kind of crease it all down. Let's do it again. In, out, in, out, in. Okay, crease it down. All right, now we need to take tear and tape and put a strip of tear and tape on the ends. Now remember, this is on the outside, so I'm taping on the outside of my folds. So my folds are folding like so. This is the inside, this is the outside. So I have tape on the 2 outsides. I don't want to put tape in here and in here. That's not going to work. What I want to do is put tape here and here. So just put a line of tear and tape here. They look like Stroop waffles, Janie. Cute. Totally. This is totally a Dutch wallet. All right. So peel off the tear and tape on one set of our little accordions. And we got to kind of scrunch it back into place. Now, the fold side is going to be the outside. The sharp, straight edge here at the top and bottom are going to be the inside. So what you're going to do is just line this up with the center fold here. Not this first fold, not this first score line, but the second one here. This is going to be the inside. We're just going to line it up from there and on the side and just hold that down. And then you're going to bring up the front bottom piece. And I'll show you, maybe I'll show you sideways. I bet I can show you sideways. And you're just going to line up that fold with the side of the wallet and just make sure that it's nice and glued down. Okay, so there's our little fan fold. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. Oh shoot, I did it again. I'll show you exactly what I did again, darn it. I thought, oh, I won't do it that time, but I did. All right, so I'm just putting it on the inside there. And now I'm going to glue it down to the side. So now we have our little pocket for our money. Okay, now we can do our glue dots. What I forgot to do is round the corners individually. So I forgot to round the bottom corner of the DSP and the bottom corner of the white. So I'm going to make that same mistake and have to round them together, and it's going to look funny. I forgot. I forgot the first time I made it, and I forgot this time. So sorry. Hopefully you won't make that same mistake that I made. See, it looks a little funny. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's not right either. All right. So I always use glue dots when I'm gluing these little magnets down. I get these magnets off of Amazon, and if you want them, I will share the link to them. I've done it in the past, but I'll share it again. I'm happy to. So I use glue dots with these little magnets. I just took 2 magnets, and I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of one. And I'm going to glue it down to the center where I want my magnet to be. So I'm just eyeballing the center. I said, okay, there's my center. Now I'm going to pick up the other magnet on the back side. I haven't done anything. I haven't put glue on it or anything. I'm going to put an adhesive dot or a glue dot on the back side of this magnet, like so. And it's stuck to the magnet on the front, so I know it's perfectly placed. So now what I'm going to do is fold it over, and I want it to be nice and folded flat here. And I want to glue and kind of pinch down. See, I'm pinching the back through, pinch down that magnet. Okay, so now it's glued down to where I need it. Okay, now I can take my piece of Whisper White that has the Designer Series paper on it, and I can glue it down on top of that magnet so it won't be seen. See what I did there? Just cover up that magnet. Okay, so hidden, can't see it. Then we're going to do the same thing with our top piece here. It's going to cover our magnet. I'm just putting a lot of adhesive here. I want it to glue down really well. And we'll just center this up like so, and glue that down. I'm going to take it so I can just lay it flat and push down. All right, now for the fun sentiment. I love the sentiment on this. You're the GOAT, greatest of all time. So I have my stamp set here, and I'm gonna take a scrap of Whisper White. It doesn't need to be, I'm just gonna take this scrap of oval because we are gonna cut this sentiment out by hand because we're gonna break it up. So just stamp it on a scrap of Whisper White. And then we're gonna take our scissors, and we are just going to cut this sentiment in half. You're the GOAT. First, when they see this wallet, they're going to think it's an insult. They're going to be like, oh, you're calling me a goat? And you're going to say, yeah, you're a goat. And then when they open the peekaboo window, they're going to say, aw, she thinks I'm the greatest of all time. But first, she's going to be mad at you and think you called her a goat. Okay. So then I actually rounded around the parentheses because, believe it or not, the sentiment just barely fits inside that circle in the center. And so having those little rounded edges around the parentheses actually works out perfectly. All right, so then I need a piece of Mango Melody scrap. I think I have the perfect piece of scrap right over here. And we're gonna glue the You're the Goat. I just wanted to kind of mat this, so I'm just gonna make a little banner, a little border of Mango Melody right around it. So I'm just gonna glue that on. And I'm gonna cut it out by hand. It's not even gonna be straight. But that's okay. Okay, so You're the Goat. And I'm gonna glue that down to the bottom here. You're the goat. It really does feel like an insult until you know what it means. Okay, and then we'll just put the greatest of all time. It's quite the title, isn't it? Greatest of all time. So we're gonna put that right here in the center. Cute. All right. So fun, you guys. So then you have this fun little peekaboo with a wallet. Wouldn't this be great for a grandkid's birthday, you know, just a little birthday wallet with some cash money inside? So cute. It would definitely make them smile. I think it's adorable. I love it. I love these cute little goats. Thank you so much for watching me. I know you guys are tired from partying last night, but I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a fabulous week, and we'll see you next Sunday. For some of you, I'll see you on Friday for Pretty AF, and some of you on Saturday for Bingo. Alrighty, you guys. Bye. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later.